Budokan Karate is unusual among the world's leading karate styles because it was born not in Japan or Okinawa, but in Malaysia. Choo Soot officially unveiled the system in Petaling Jaya on the 17th of July 1966, and today both the World Union of Karate-Do Federations and the World Karate Federation acknowledge it. Technically, it keeps Shotokan's long, direct stances, yet layers on heavy, weight-trained power, so its punches and kicks feel instantly distinctive. Choo Soot entered the world on the 7th of February 1922 in Alor Setar in the state of Kedah. After his father died early, a strict Confucian grandfather raised him, but that stern upbringing never dimmed his fascination with physical culture. When he was just 15, he joined a small bodybuilding club in Ipoh, forging the physique that would later shape Budokan's emphasis on raw power. By 1939, he had already claimed the Malayan national titles in the featherweight and lightweight divisions of weightlifting. Along the way, he picked up judo, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, an eclectic toolkit that foreshadowed the multi-influence curriculum he would one day assemble. During the Japanese occupation of Malaya, which lasted from 1942 to 1945, a senior army officer heard of Choo's athletic reputation and hired him as a strength coach. In return, the officer, who had studied both Keishinkan and Shotokan, taught Choo karate for more than 2 years. That apprenticeship marked his first taste of Japanese striking arts and fixed Shotokan as Budokan's technical backbone. Once the war ended, Choo traveled often to Japan and Okinawa, studying under a succession of teachers, and he later journeyed to Taiwan to explore Chinese kung fu and traditional weapons. Each trip widened his horizons beyond pure Shotokan, adding the body conditioning of Goju Ryu, the weapons work of Kobudo, and the circular footwork of Chinese styles that still color Budokan kata today. Back in Malaysia, his friends persuaded him to open a modest dojo in Petaling Jaya in 1966. Interest exploded. Within 2 years, he had flown in 7 Japanese instructors to meet the demand, and Budokan schools dotted the length of the Malay Peninsula. He chose the name Budōkan, which means Hall of the Martial Way, and framed the art with the motto, strong in hand, kind in heart. From the start, he wanted a system that prized ethical conduct as highly as physical force, a principle still painted on dojo walls around the world. Power generation quickly became Budokan's hallmark. Choo's weightlifting heritage led him to weave resistance training, the striking of makiwara posts, and regular breaking practice into everyday classes. As a result, students drill hip rotation and full-body drives even more intensely than mainstream Shotokan practitioners. Hold on for a second. Thank you for watching my videos. If you enjoy what I do, you can support my project via clicking the Join Sponsor button on YouTube. That way you can get early access to my new videos before anyone else. You are also going to get access to my Daido Juku Kudo karate courses. Now, let's get back to the video. Technically, the style keeps Shotokan's long Zenkutsu-dachi stances and straight-line Tsuki and Geri basics, yet its kata move through slightly shorter transitional stances to help fighters accelerate into a second strike. Chinese influence appears in occasional sweeping palm blocks, and senior grades study Kobudo forms for the bo and the sai. The kata curriculum opens with the familiar Taikyoku and Hien series, then introduces Budokan interpretations of Basai and Kushanku that highlight double hip rotation and low-line counter kicks. Advanced students handle weapon sets adapted from Okinawan tradition, reaffirming Choo's conviction that empty hand and weapons practice should reinforce each other. By the early 1970s, Budokan was firmly rooted across Malaysia. Regional black belt councils managed daily instruction, while Choo concentrated on developing instructors. International growth came next. Australian servicemen stationed at Butterworth invited Choo to teach seminars, an initiative that produced the first overseas branches and eventually the world headquarters in Noosa in Queensland. At the same time, students returning to India and the Gulf opened dojos that made the subcontinent Budokan's largest community outside Malaysia. In 1974, Choo unified the network as Karate Budokan International, set standard rank requirements, and linked the organization to national federations so that Budokan black belts could stand shoulder to shoulder with their peers at open tournaments. Today, KBI is recognized by multiple continental bodies and maintains observer status with the World Federation. Choo suffered a paralytic stroke in February 1995 and died on the 18th of July 1997. Leadership passed to his second son, Richard Choo, who continued the expansion while tightening instructor licensing rules to preserve consistency worldwide. Among the style's notable alumni are the Hollywood actor James Caan, who trained with Choo before filming the motion picture The Killer Elite, and Takamasa Okuyama, who later became a respected Kyokushin instructor. Their involvement carried Budōkan's name far beyond Southeast Asia. From a technical viewpoint, Budōkan sparring favors decisive hip-driven reverse punches and front kicks delivered from medium range, in contrast to the point-stop rhythm common in Shotokan tournaments. The guard sits higher, and the non-striking hand often stays near the center line rather than drawing back to the hip, a concession to applied power and a shorter follow-up time. Conditioning remains uncompromising. Students strike the makiwara regularly, smash pads and break boards during grading tests. Kata practice balances sharp snapping techniques with phases of soft breathing borrowed from Goju-ryu, mirroring Choo's belief that hard and soft training must complement each other. Ranks follow the usual Kyu and Dan ladder, yet promotion beyond third Dan demands proof of active teaching and a written technical thesis, echoing Budōkan's insistence on intellectual understanding as well as physical power. Competitors enter tournaments under World Federation rules, but the style also runs its own full contact championship circuit in India and Australia, preserving its combative roots. By the year 2025, Budōkan reports clubs in more than 30 countries. Its digital archive, research articles, and genealogy projects, all hosted online, document both the art's Malaysian roots and its integration into global Budo culture, ensuring that future generations can trace every technique back to Choo Soot's first dojo. In short, Budōkan stands apart as a Shotokan-descended system distilled through Malaysian experience, muscular, direct, and outward-looking. Its founder's blend of weight-trained athleticism, wartime karate, and Chinese arts produced a curriculum where disciplined power meets a clear code of conduct, true to the enduring motto, strong in hand, kind in heart.